What's going on, guys? This is gonna be a long one. I feel like this is the best time to make this video. And I feel really bad because currently I'm very limited on my LawBreakers footage. So around halfway through, it's going to switch games from most likely LawBreakers to something like Overwatch or Warframe, because that's really all I have at the moment. I accidentally deleted all my LawBreakers footage except for this one. I don't even know what happens in this one. I think it just might be a warm-up. But so yeah, I really don't want to make this video, but honestly, it has to be made. And with all due respect, rest in peace, LawBreakers. So first of all, let me just go on and describe why it is I have decided to make this video. This is the second day in a row where I have waited, yes, this is a crazy number, 2 hours to find a match, and yesterday I didn't even find a match. I found a few matches today, but they're all based on the same people. And I'm making this video solely because I really think this game is done. Basically, especially after 1.4, every day it just takes longer to find a game. Every day just feels like there's less people online, and just every day I feel like I'm just memorizing the same people in my lobby. And so I'm not saying it's completely dead, and well, I am, but I'm not saying that it's going to be dead forever. There are ways to revive this game. There are. And I'm going to basically talk about those too, but I wish I had like something to remember LawBreakers by, other than, you know, my team, which has decided we're going to switch games, because honestly it makes sense. Currently there's no more tournaments as far as I'm concerned for LawBreakers esports. PC apparently is doing okay, but PS4 is just dead. So now I might as well just go on and jump to what we can do to fix this. So the first thing we can do is just stop talking about how dead the game is. This is kind of late to say this, and I know I'm talking about how dead the game is currently, but just, this was really bad earlier, because I've recommended the game to a lot of my friends, and a lot of my friends would say something along the lines of like, oh, isn't that dead game? And I'm like, yeah, it's dead, but basically where I'm going here is people would say that it's dead, and then they would say about like how long it takes for them to find matches and like how no one's active, and it's really frustrating because I feel like that's really what killed the game, in my opinion. There are other things, but I feel like this was just like the knife amongst spoons here. This was really bad. Because, like I said, I've recommended LawBreakers to a lot of my friends, and whenever I talk about it, they're like, isn't that dead game? So clearly, the word about the game being dead, and the word about, you know, the game not becoming a sensation is much higher than the fact that you have a lot of fun once you find the game. It takes a little bit of patience, but once you waited like a minute, you would find a game on PlayStation. Now, you're lucky if it's around a 10-minute queue. And that's because so many people complained about how dead it was. And that got out much faster than that of the people that said that the game was great. And I feel like that's a big killing blow. It really is. That's the fatality right there. I feel like that we can't blame the devs. We can, but I'll get to that later. But mostly it's the fact that we kept complaining about how dead it was. So next is of course going to be the devs. And for around the first week, or first few weeks of launch, this game had really active devs. The devs would reply to you on Twitter. The devs would try to make it to where, you know, they're known. and slowly that disappeared. Lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. And that slowly disappeared. After around the first few weeks, I don't remember ever getting a, you know, like reply. And the devs on the Discord are relatively active, but it feels like they're only active whenever someone has to tag them. They're not actually moderating the chat, and that's what is really bad. The fact that the devs are not active to the already small community. So people were leaving. A lot of people I was talking to left because the devs were not active. And that's not good. You know, you're losing your community that is already too small to like withstand the game. But honestly, yeah, that's about all I have for this part of the active devs. Next is devs not listening at all. This kind of ties into active devs, but this is really frustrating. The devs would consistently not listen. One great example is Enforcer with the whole 2.0 update. And with 2.0, they didn't do jack shit to Enforcer. Okay, they didn't do anything. They bumped down his health about 25. That's literally it. He still has about the same health as Titan did pre-patch. That's a lot of health. Like, that's a crazy amount of health. And they're not doing anything about that. Like, we're complaining about Enforcer over and over again. Especially Wraiths, because honestly, it's so frustrating. Because Enforcer can usually outrun and outgun and outrange you. It's like a gunfight that's going to end bad. And also, even when playing as like Vanguard or something, you're probably not going to outgun that Enforcer. Even though you're both DPS characters, you know. It's just really frustrating because Enforcer was way too overpowered. His distortion field gave him a double jump. And what a lot of Wraith mains were complaining about is how badly they hit Wraith with this update. They hit him really, really hard. Way too hard. Even though he was already hit hard with the whole, he got his damage nerfed. But this gameplay I believe is from 1.4, and his knife did less damage than a kick. It only did 30 damage. That's nothing. Now they bumped it up to where it does 75, which is equivalent to a kick. But you know, it was practically just like a second kick. It didn't lunge very well. I swear they nerfed the range of the lunge. Anyway, I'm digressing here. So yeah, they didn't listen at all. They didn't listen to anything we said. And that's also why people left, because they were not, it's like, the best I can describe it is they would just blindly nerf things, and it really seemed like they did not test anything at all because of how blindly they would do things. They would just randomly put things into the game that sounded good on paper, but I don't think they really tested very much, and it was really, really frustrating, you know. So anyway, so yeah, that's all for the. So my past two have been more about what killed the game. Now I'm gonna actually talk about what can fix the game. So first of all, the devs can listen a lot better, maybe even be more active. Right now, I think there's a solid 400 active players on both console and PC. I'm not gonna check that. I can't really check that. I can't check the console at all. But PC has around 200 active players per day. And then based on the Discord, you know, most of the Discord is mostly PC. There's still quite a few people in the communities that have not gotten on the Discord. And I think that's also because people just aren't very aware, because like I said, the devs do not communicate at all, so they don't like really. Honestly, what they should do is put it on the front page to join the Discord, because there's so many people that are not on the Discord. And then so yeah, there's that. A lot of people are jumping to the free-to-play solution. I don't think this is going to work. I really don't. Because, at least for me, I've never been consistent to a free-to-play game. I think the most consistent I've been to was Paladins, and I only played that for about a month total. When I started it, like, last year to now, I think I've only played for about a month. Not even that. I don't even think it's that, because a month is actually a lot of playtime, but for about the total year, I've only played for like a total. I've only had it on my PlayStation for a total of a month. That's as far as I'm gonna go here. But so that was something that I feel like just for some reason free-to-play games don't feel authentic to me, and I don't want to see this game go into that direction. So I don't want it to go free-to-play. However, I have a trial recommendation. This trial is basically a full game trial, because you know you can't really demo this, but like it'll be a full game trial, and essentially the trial would be like you would have entire access to the game. You could play multiplayer, boss leagues, you can play whatever, and basically you would get like a level cap, like for an example level 15. However, that's not really all that high, but basically, yeah, just something like that. Like, not anything like level 30 or anything, because that's way too much time. That's like the entire game. But like level 20, like at level 20, and then also maybe even whenever you complete the game's trial, you can get like a discount. Like not like a 50% discount, but like a 20%, not even that, like a 10% discount, because honestly the game's already not that expensive. Because right there, that would get it down so much. That would bring it down to like 20 bucks. That's like how much Battlefield 1 is running for in most stores. So yeah. And okay, I just said that's how much Battlefield 1 is running for in most stores. I don't think that helped my case at all. But you know, that's not that much. That really isn't. And I think that would encourage a lot of people to play, is if they just dropped it with a trial. The free weekend helped, but they didn't have it long enough. My opinion, they need to have a free like week, like, you know, much longer, because I've never actually downloaded a game after its free weekend, because I didn't have enough time to grow attached to it. I didn't have enough time to like get good at it, so it was mostly just along the lines of like it was a free game that I downloaded. And that's what I don't want this game to become. I really don't. So yeah. Yeah, moving on. Another thing they could do to you know, fix the game is basically go back to those things they did bad and just take those away. Listen better. Communicate better. Maybe even before a patch, like a few months. That's way too much. Like a few weeks before patch, a few days before patch. Release the patch notes and make it to where it's close enough to where they won't have to be too eager for the patch, but not too close as to you can't go back and fix it. Honestly, I feel like a great idea would be to make it to where you have like a survey and you release the patch notes, and if there's anything they think they cannot do for like the month or so before the next patch, then you would fix it. For example, Enforcer. I'm using Enforcer because this is really bad, because they didn't do anything to nerf him at all, and he's still overpowered. They should have like ran over the changes with the community. Like say, hey, do you think a 25 health nerf is good enough to nerf him? And then if we're like no, then you know, they would nerf it either more, or they would nerf something else with it, like his damage, or the fact that he has literally no recoil at all, you know, something like that. Yeah, that's a pretty big problem, honestly. It's really frustrating. Alright, so as this LawBreakers footage comes to an end, I'm just gonna talk about, I guess I've kind of talked about everything already, But I feel like this needs to be said really, really badly. Don't blame anyone for this. Like, a lot of the people in the community are blaming, you know, the devs. They're blaming, I'm blaming other people. I'm gonna make it 100% honest. I'm blaming other people. But I feel like we shouldn't blame anyone. What we should do is, you know, get over it. This is a game that died way too soon, and it's really everyone's fault. So, I really want this game to become alive again. But I feel like the only way that can happen is if a lot of things change. We need better dev, you know, I can't find the word. Better dev activity, maybe? This entire part right here is unscripted. The rest of it was scripted, but this entire part right here is unscripted. So, if I stutter, I'm sorry. If I, like, pause for a bit, I'm sorry, but, I just feel like that a lot of things need to change. Like I said, dev activity, we need more people talking positively about the game. I forgot to actually add this in, but one of the first things that came to my mind whenever this game was dead, advertising. Because the only ad I've ever seen for this game was the ad a year ago on Facebook, and that's how I found out about the game. But that's the only ad I've ever seen for this game. That's not okay at all. You know, I know that's Nexon's fault, not Boss Keys, but I feel like that's just not good at all. You know, the fact that there's not a single ad for a game that's already dying. Also, sponsors, sponsors help a lot. If they were just to sponsor someone on Twitch, a streamer, it would help a lot. The only streamer they ever sponsored was Scarfino. He did one stream and then he never talked about the game ever again. That's an awful sponsorship, honestly. That's horrendous. So, I don't know why they thought that was okay. If they're gonna sponsor someone, make it to where they at least, like, review the game or do something like that. But, I'm gonna go and say, let's take matters into our own hands. And if you're like me and you really want this game to get active, then we should probably do something about this. They're not doing anything. By they, I mean the devs. So why don't we go out and re-advertise this game? Why don't we tell big streamers about this game? You know, it's something that needs to be done. If they're not gonna do it, we will, or I will. I've already gone on like 2 YouTubers and spammed their comment section. I don't care, I don't really watch them very often, so if I get like blocked, or I don't know if you can block people, but basically, yeah, I've spammed a few YouTubers basically saying, hey, this game is dying, like, we need help in this game. And so yeah, do whatever you guys can. Tell your friends, you know, this game is dying way too soon. It's only been out for about 2 months. And it's already more dead than, like, games on Xbox. You know, the original Xbox. I don't know if any of those servers are still online, but it's already more dead than those. It's insane. So, just remember, don't talk crap about something that's already been beaten to a pulp. You know, I know that was kind of a weird thing to say, but, you know, a lot of people were talking crap about this game, and it really harms the game, and it's already dead. Like, you're just stabbing it over and over again, even though it's already dead. It's really stupid. Like, people are saying, oh, there's no way to go back, so might as well just go out and roast the game. That's really stupid. I know how we can get it back up, but they're not doing it, and it's really frustrating. But, what makes me even more mad is the fact that, you know, all these people in the Discord are talking about how bad the game is and, like, how dead it is. And they're just stabbing a horse that's already dead. They're beating a dead horse. And, It's really stupid. It's crazy stupid. I don't know why they're doing it. Anyway, I'm kind of just doing filler now. I knew this was gonna be a long video, because I was gonna start ranting. So, yeah. So, this means probably no more Lawbreakers on my channel. Unless it picks up, because honestly, it's really frustrating to wait 2 hours to find a game. And I don't want to do it anymore, man. It's just not something that appeals to me at all. And, yeah, so, rest in peace, Lawbreakers. Let's try and get it back up, though. I'm not giving up, but I'm not going to play it right now, because it's really time-consuming. But I'll try to get it back up. I'll do whatever I can. I hope you guys do whatever you can. So, anyway, I'll see you guys when I see you guys.